Hi, loves, and welcome back to the Academy on this November 7th, 2025. Again, we hope all is well with you, loves, and the peace, love, light, oneness, and truth that we send to you and we share with you in as we are one, love. So today, Sananda Yeshua was asked by a member of our family to speak about other realms, dimensions, parallel universes, and more. And this is what he will be teaching all of you today. After he was asked to speak about all this, he was dictating information to me that I wrote down for all of you that he wants to go over with all of you. And yes, loves, like all of you, I did take notes, which we will get to in a second. But again, only share us with open-minded and open-hearted brothers and sisters. Being that we're already grounded, we ask for you, Mother, Father, Creator, to cloak and shield us, the Ananda family, brothers and sisters and students of the Ananda family, and any and all technologies, devices, and equipment that may or may not be used at this time, in your diamond white light of protection, peace, light, and love. So the only truth and love being given at this time. As any and all darkness, Father and Mother, or demonic energies or low vibration frequencies must be dealt with by you across all times, spaces, places, dimensions, altered realities, and parallel universes, times 1,000 in the name of Yeshua the Christ. And so it is done. What's going to happen, loves, is me and Michaela Martin will go over the notes that Sananda gave me last night in time and space regarding his teaching for all of you today, and then he will expand on it, if that makes sense, loves. And after I took these notes yesterday, he added more to it when the body didn't have paper and pen, so I wasn't able to write this part down. The part that I wasn't able to write down was what he terms as your 0 point, or the point of nothingness. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, before creation existed, before God, Goddess power, split itself off into fractals of different expressions of creation, there was only God. And this is what is called the void area. It's the point of before creation. So this is what he will be discussing with all of you, students of the Ananda family, today for this one-on-one class, per the request of one of our sisters in this family. And remember, if you want to go to Yeshua's website for books and other material, you can go to ChristPhoenixRisingAcademy.com. ChristPhoenixRisingAcademy.com for more information and details. And you may want to take notes yourself if you wish, and only take what resonates, loves, and leave the rest. So now we're going to go look at the notes that he had me write down, and then he can expand on whatever he wishes to. Let's go look at the notes and go over them first, and then he will do his thing. These are all the notes that I took yesterday for all of you. And then he will go over them after I get done reading them out loud to all of you. The physical world, or the 3D world, where your body is at now, is what Yeshua refers to as the tangible world. Anything that is tangible, humans, plants, animals, physical matter-based life. And he also said certain spirits or elementals can occasionally manifest due to their energy temporarily being here. If that makes sense, loves. He said, but the purpose of the third density duality is learning, growing, and evolving from perception. He said, learning through emotion, limitation, programming, and creation in form. And then he said, your lower astral realms is the 4D, which those of you, brothers and sisters, that are not ascending to 5D yet, with the light warriors and starseeds, you will be ascending to 4D, which is different than 5D. 4D is the lower astral realms, earthbound spirits, souls that have souls that no longer are near the physical after he didn't put demise, he put after transition. So after the physical body transitions, some of you will be in the 4D. And when I asked what this meant, he said it's all different layers of consciousness that one is speaking of. All consciousness is of God. So the earthbound spirits are going to be stuck in 4D. The ones that transitioned from the physical to non-physical and choose to stay behind to be with loved ones who are stuck in the in-between, as I call it. And I said, why is this? And he said, due to attachment or confusion. So if brothers and sisters are programmed to perceive I'm going to hell, or they're constantly in fear, or they think they're going to get nowhere, such as ghosts and earthbound spirits, they will hang out in places like bars, pubs, clubs, any low vibration frequency, because they don't know how to let go of their past trauma. They don't know how to let go of wrong belief, wrong thinking. in the belief that they are not going to heaven or the seventh dimension, as Yeshua explained to me, which is where I go when I go home to be with my real family when Sananda does his thing. And that is where everything is all love, light, and that is where the Creator is. If that makes sense, loves. But we'll get to that in a second. And he also said shadow entities or beings, I call them entities, he calls them beings, or heavy emotional thought forms can inhabit the fourth density. They feed on negative emotions rather than physical energy. The purpose of the fourth dimension is healing, release, and transition. So Mother Tara right now is in the fourth dimension. I'm sorry, density. Density, not dimension. Mother Tara is in the fourth density. She's transitioning from fear into love, which is a step-by-step gradual process. She's transcending and transmuting is what no longer serves her, as in the collective and herself, as she too is love energy. This is why Yeshua says she's purging as well through energy. She's purging and shedding what is no longer serving her, the darkness upon her. She's purging it slowly, and we all need to ground, center, and protect her with only divine love and purity given. If that makes sense, loves. So the next thing he said was, the astral realm or the dream state, which is where you can see your spirit guides, loved ones, teachers, and other healers. When your physical body is in a state of slumber, as he would put it, your consciousness goes into the astral realm or the dream state so you can astral travel to other parallel universes, ultra realities, and other dimensions. If that makes sense, loves. And these beings assist with the in-between realms for cleansing and clearing the darkness from Mother Tara. He also said, dream architects, consciousness that helps process lessons between symbolically when you sleep. The purpose of this is communication and understanding. The higher astral realm is where the angelic presence is. Archangels, ascended masters, messengers of pure light and love, and of pure compassion and protection. Ascended masters, he was explaining all this to me, to explain it to all of you. Ascended masters are those who have evolved from the third density divinity consciousness of Mother Tara beyond the physical realm, but still aid humanity with the Great Ascension. And he also said, galactic or interdimensional beings also assist in this process, or any other consciousness forms, or other systems, such as your star systems. Often described as Arcturians, Lyrans, Palladians, and others. The purpose is spiritual growth, guidance, expansion, awareness, and awakening beyond ego. The next thing that Yeshua said was elemental realms. And he also said it was nature spirits, nature animals, who help guide the earth with their consciousness. Earth, wind, fire, water. The four elemental principles: earth, wind, fire, water. And he mentioned something about divas, which I had never heard of that term before, but I wrote it down. He said, divas is a larger collective of intelligence overseeing forests, rivers, and other ecosystems. The purpose: to balance and enhance nature's energy. And the validity of the planet vitality of the planet. Sorry. Vitality of the planet. The celestial realms, which is personally my favorite. He said these are light beings, light collective, or soul groups consciousness expressing through many forms. Archetypal beings, embodiments of love, wisdom, creation, or transfiguration. The purpose is manifesting harmony across all dimensions, guiding the evolution, co-creating reality structures. He also said, source or infinite realms is 7 through 10. 7 is what Michaela Martin was just talking about. That is where the heaven, quote unquote, is. Filled with unconditional love, filled with the Creator. The Creator is in all things of perfect divine creation, as Yeshua himself said. But getting back to our notes, he said, source or infinite realms, 10 dimension plus. These are beings beyond individuality, pure source, all divine consciousness. He said some describe this as sound before sound in your Holy Mother Earth. The light before creation. And the purpose of this is pure unity, while all beings return. From where all arise. And then I asked him about parallel universes and timelines. And what he told me was there are multiple timelines. There are good timelines and bad timelines. The bad timelines were created by the Draco reptilians and native beings that are trying to disrupt the return of the Great Awakening upon Mother Tara. And he also said, your time, beloved, is linear. Our time is divine, pure divine time. Your time is structured based upon programs, based upon systems, based upon one's perception but our time is unlimited, unrestricted, and unbound. And he said, and this was quite interesting, loves. He said, when one is on one's parallel timeline or alternate timeline, or as I call it, future timeline, one is seeing a different version of oneself. And he brought up the subject of there is no past or future. Everything is in the here and now moment. I said, well, why did they say past, present, and future? And he said, it's all in one's perception, beloved. And he said, how one perceives, one shall create, beloved. So getting back to the notes here, Sananda Yeshua said, parallel universes and timelines. Alternate versions of oneself and others. And he also added to it afterward, he said, experiencing simultaneously. And he showed me like this building metaphorically. And he said, beloved, think of it like this. Think of it as one is a building with many layers upon it. Think of your physical self as one is being perceived today, in your third density as your hub or your energy center. But your consciousness expands beyond the energy of the hub, beyond the energy of the frequency, and ever expands out into the ethers to do what one would say multitask or do thy will of God in various forms. Everything is happening at one time, beloved. There is no past, future, nor present. It is the here and now moment. If that makes sense, loves. Do not get mad at me. Those were Sananda Yeshua's words from last night. So get mad at him if you do not like what is being said. And he also said, distinct civilizations, cosmic patterns, evolving into their own paths. And he also said the purpose of it was exploration, infinite possibility. And he actually put that word in capital, but I didn't write it down in capital. Infinite possibility. Every choice, every vibration, every belief, every new branch of existence. That is what one is experiencing. So now, loves, I think that was on all the notes, yes. So now, loves, I will turn everything over to you, Sananda Yeshua, with only the purity of divine love and truth given at this. Remember, loves, take what resonates and leave the rest. We love you all. And indeed, once again, greetings unto you, precious, beloved, holy children of light divine. Take it deeply within the consciousness, dear one, and contemplate what these words mean, for you are deeply loved. by that which is the Comforter Creator of Buddha consciousness, that is, I am within. For I am indeed your beloved brother, friend, and equal, the one you've known simply throughout timeless days as Sananda, Yeshua the Christ. I come not forth to teach you, but rather simply to love you, to honor and serve in the oneness that which you are, that is, but God. It is in this way that one speaks of compassion, tenderness, and mercy and justice for all, dear one. Through this, my beloved, the one voice of one Sananda, Yeshua the Christ. We have been therefore asked by our beloved Kimberly to speak unto you about your ultra realities, parallel universes, other dimensions, and alternate timelines, dear one, and how one coincides with other galactic beings that are existing in many realms. Does that make sense for you? One shall begin with your point of nothingness. Your point of nothingness has been often called the void, where there was this darkness, dear one. Consciousness had not, shall we say, separated itself into fractals of creation. One may refer to this as your before creation existed period, dear one. Before man's creation of perception, before man's free will, before man's choice of embarking upon your holy mother, the earth. For it is said in your holy scriptures, for indeed God said, let there be light, and indeed there was light. You are the light unto the world. You were created from light. You were created from love. That is indeed God, dear one, are you not? That love and light is ever present within you, of one consciousness. You are the light unto the world, not only one Sananda Yeshua, but indeed all perfect divine creation. All are sons and daughters of the Most High, dear one. Does that make sense for you? There is no exclusivity, as one Yeshua said. Exclusivity is merely a perception of man, a filter of man's programming, dear one. Does that make sense for you? In your areas of nothingness, there was no, shall we say, creation. The formless was not yet informed, dear one. But your next stage of creation, some has referred to it as your first dimension. Where everything began and formed, dear one. Where the lower beings are, dear one. But in truth, and please listen carefully, your lower beings of darkness are not only upon your holy mother the earth and are slowly being removed, but indeed they are on your other dimensions, slowly being obliterated and removed at this time, dear ones. Does that make sense for you? Do not fear, do not fear, do not fear. It is indeed how one perceives your different dimensions to be, dear one. In your times of astral travel, dear one. Does that make sense for you? If one perceives that indeed hell, as one has termed it, to be beneath you, it shall be beneath you in the first dimension. But hell is not the place at which you perceive, dear one. You have termed it hell, to use the word of your duality, but it is indeed the planet called Saturn, dear one. This planet was named after Satan, dear one. Does that make sense for you? Hell is not what one would perceive of it, dear one. Many upon your holy mother the earth have said, but Yeshua, this planet is hell right now. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of destruction, distortion, perception, and indeed, this is true, beloved. But indeed, your hell that you're creating is by one's perception of fear and third density duality, of programming, beliefs, and other distortion, dear one. You, beloveds, create your own duality, dear one, do you not? Based upon one's thoughts, feelings, and perception, dear one. Does that make sense for you? These, should we say, lower dimensions are meant to keep you trapped in man's perception. Your first, second, and third dimension are meant to keep you enslaved to the matrix. The matrix of control, structure, domination, manipulation, right? Should we say, other galactic beings are slowly choosing to assist your Holy Mother the Earth at this time in your planetary systems, known as your galaxies, your star systems, upon this great awakening. When one perceives from the third density duality, one is perceiving of fear, limitation, restriction, pain, suffering, distortion, programming. And why is this, dear ones? This is so because you have chosen as a creative soul to embark upon the physical duality to learn and grow and evolve from. Did you indeed wipe your memories away from oneself? No. And please listen carefully, beloveds. You did not wipe your memories away. However, the Dark Ones did that upon your embodiment of your vessel of the body, dear one. Does that make sense for you? The Dracos, all the Dark Ones that are should we say, vipers, dear one, did this to you so that one would forget your divinity and divine connection to your upward consciousness, dear one. Does that make sense for you? Your wrong beliefs, your wrong perception. The only perception of reality is that of love. Fear is but an illusion. As one Sananda Yeshua said to our beloved, your third density duality can be perceived as one's chess game. It is a chess move, dear one, of all good and bad. Does that make sense for you? The dark ones, dear one, and those false light beings upon your planet that say, there is no darkness upon this planet. There is no bad upon this planet. Indeed, this is not so, beloved. They are, Joe said, to use a word of your duality, fibbing to you. They are the misinformed, as one Sananda has said. There is opposites, dear one. Good, bad, light, dark. One must transcend the world of duality and darkness into light, into love, and back into oneness, that is, the seventh dimension. All dimensions can be achieved in your state of consciousness or one state of awareness, dear one. Does that make sense for you? There is nothing impossible to you or for you with God, dear one. All things are divinely possible in perfect divine time. So where then does your dark ones come from? Your lower realms, dear one. We will say it begins with your first realm and into your second. This indeed is why your Holy Mother the Earth has been purging oneself of all darkness upon her to make room for new Shambhala, beloved, or heaven to earth. Does that make sense for you? For indeed it is that simple. Your fourth dimension is what some of you refer to as your love density consciousness, which is where some of you embody now, dear one, while those upon your Holy Mother the Earth still perceive from the third density of fear, limitation, distraction, distortion, programming, beliefs, and structure, dear one. Does that make sense for you? Your fifth dimension is your, should we say, continuation of your love density consciousness or your superpowers, dear one. All dimensions are connected, dear one. Does that make sense for you? When one astral travels in your slumber state of consciousness, you are in the fourth dimension, transcending the vehicle of the body, moving through all dimensions if one chooses to either sit on the councils with us or shut down timelines or create new timelines, or to bring more Christ consciousness in. Does that make sense for you, beloveds? As one Sananda Yeshua has simply said, there is no past, present, and future. It is all conjured back up in the mind when one perceives of it. From your state of consciousness or awareness. It is like you're flowing rivers. It is endless and flowing through you. If one has a memory, it is your current memory, dear one, not a past memory. For when one remembers something, one is remembering from your many embodiments that one may have had upon your holy mother, the earth, coming back to you, dear one. All memories, all consciousness is but one. Does that make sense for you, beloveds? But your programming would perceive there is separation between your past, present, and future, not existing simultaneously as one collective thread of consciousness. Does that make sense for you, beloveds? What you perceive to be in the past, when you bring it back up in the mind, is the present. Because you think about it, dear one, do you not? You conjure it back up in the mind and think about it, thereby creating it over again. When one perceives from the future, one is tapping into one's alternate timeline or parallel timeline. One Sananda Yeshua can simply say with certainty, there are more good timelines than bad timelines, dear one. Are they all gone? No, they're not all gone, dear one. But the good timelines outweigh the bad. Does that make sense for you? Are all darkness off this planet, beloveds? No. This is why one Sananda Yeshua is working tirelessly behind the scenes, to use a word of your duality, to take down the darkness, to use a word of your duality, collaborate with the forces of light to assist your holy mother, beloved earth, and one's inhabitants, to co-create new Shambhala with that which is the comforter creator of one consciousness. Your parallel universes exist simultaneously so that one can, should we say, perceive and begin to experience different versions of oneself. There is indeed another planet Earth that looks similar to your current one, dear one. That is for the misinformed that refuse to change. Another third density duality planet. And one can go there when one is not ready to change, and refuses to play nice in the sandbox, to use a word of your duality, dear ones. Does that make sense for you? This is another representation of your parallel universes. This is another representation of the power that is within you, of your free will. Does that make sense for you, beloveds? Why then are there multiple timelines and parallel universes, dear one? They all serve as an infinite purpose to expand consciousness and one's awareness, to either create or destroy and destruct. Some timelines, dear ones, your dark ones, have, do we say, to use the word of your duality, installed. And the beings of light and the forces of light are taking it down in your perfect divine time, as no stone shall go left unturned. The tables shall yet be overthrown, as once the Nandi Yeshua did 2,000 years ago in your time and place of duality. All things that are of love is meant to evolve consciousness. Does that make sense for you? As a temporary teaching and learning device. So when one speaks of your future of New Shambhala, one is speaking of the transition from fear into love, unity, and peace, from deception and destruction. That is what is yet reemerging back into the Christ divinity that which indeed you are. Does that make sense for you? It is important, beloved, and please listen carefully, not to be distracted by man's perception, but go within, go within, go within, to the still small voice of that love that is, I am a born consciousness. Not my will, but thine be done, dear one. For thy will is love, and love ye shall do. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Speak not ill of man, but speak of compassion, tenderness, and mercy, dear one. There are indeed other planetary systems, known as your galaxies, stars, and your solar systems that are in your ethers as well, dear one, to help evolve your Holy Mother the Earth and expand consciousness. Does that make sense for you, beloved ones? This, dear ones, is where your planet is indeed heading, into the fourth, fifth dimension. Some of you, dear ones, are on the fourth dimension now by one state of awareness and thereby consciousness. But your planet altogether as a collective is transcending from third density duality into the fourth density duality as one speaks, dear one. As we, as a collective of Christ consciousness beings, are indeed on the positive timeline. Because indeed, in truth, beloved, and please listen carefully, when your dark ones create a negative timeline or pull you off the proper timeline, the beings of light tear that one down and remove it so that your planets can remain on one's perfect divine timeline. The timeline of harmony, love, and truth to be unveiled. The time of Aquarius, dear one. Does that make sense for you? Do not fear, do not fear, do not fear by what is arising, but only embrace the good, the holy, and the beautiful. Surrender to love and let love guide you, dear one. As love is the key of all a man's misperception of duality. Shed the skin of your programming, misperception, misalignment, and align with your at one I am presence within, with one's thoughts, words, and deeds. It is indeed that simple. We, the galactic beings of light, and the ascended masters that are around you, known as your archangels, ascended masters, teachers, and guides, and galactic beloved brothers and sisters of light, bring forth new energy frequency of new light codes, of new Shambhala, and new upgrades one may be experiencing in your physical body of duality. Remember, beloveds, to stop, breathe, and love. Stop what one is perceiving, stop what one is feeling, stop what one is fearing, and breathe in love and let go of the conflict. Surrender thy will over to God, Father, Mother, Comforter, Creator of womb consciousness, that which indeed you are an aspect of. Does that make sense for you? You are unlimited. You are the potential to be Christed. Are all beings Christed? No, beloved. Can all beings be Christ? Yes. Does that make sense for you, beloveds? Greater things than I have done you will therefore also do, dear one. The same power that dwells within one Sananda Yeshua also dwells within you, beloveds. Arise to the Christ within you. Not my will, but thine be done, dear one. Do not fear, do not fear, do not fear, but only abide where the heart is. That is unconditional love, upborn consciousness, or as some of you have termed, the heaven realm, or some dimension in your times of prayer and meditation. It is indeed that simple, beloved, as love conquers all. For I am indeed your beloved brother, friend, and equal, the one you've known simply throughout time and space as Sananda, Yeshua the Christ. I come not forth to teach you, but rather simply to love you unconditionally, as indeed the Comforter Creator of one consciousness loves you. As an unlimited, perfect divine creation, co-creating new Shambhala, beloved. I have come with my sword of truth to bind all evil and darkness and liberate the pure in heart, so that indeed the truth may rise and set you free once again. For the truth is indeed but love, as indeed you are, Prince and Princesses of Peace, beloved. Be that what you are created to be, the bearers of Nu Shambhala, the bearers of peace, the bearers of light, the bearers of love, as indeed I am. And so indeed it is, beloveds. You are love. You are loved infinite and eternal, dear one. And so indeed it is.